Welcome to Phase 4, Light and Sound. First of all, why is this important? But there's an incredible amount of attention from the lighting artist that goes into all of the locations that we have in the game. Besides just marking up the reflection probe areas, they also manage the visuals really carefully, adding fill lights, approximating bounce lights off ground and up into ceilings and dark corners where there aren't any direct lights pointing, really. And the problem is, not only does this take a lot of time and really constrain the style that they're using, it's simply not possible. If you've got a planet full of forests and you're going to be exploring places that no artist has ever visited, no, they've not looked at, and they're certainly not going to be able to have tweaked it for you. So we need something that works completely hands-off. So this is the forest as you'd see it without the GI system. As you can see, all the shadows are receiving lighting from the same environment probe, so it's basically just a flat color across. We replace that with around 40,000 mini ray trace probes. Each of them has their own view of the sky, and so that gives you way more contrast and variation as you move in and out of the canopy. As you can see, Pico's in trouble again, but because the lighting team hasn't helped, if you add the transparency GI system, suddenly the whole scene comes alive. And this is something that we could never have done until we added this tech. Now, the other piece of the puzzle is glossy reflections. If we fix the lighting on one thing and then the reflections don't match, it's going to look terrible. So I'm going to do an uncomfortably short breakdown on what this tech looks like and how that comes together. Now, obviously, it reads as shiny, but there's this kind of fakeness to it. So let's see what the ray tracing looks like. So what we do is we let pixels share their data in space and then also in time to clear up the final image. And then we let the game's normal anti-aliasing just kind of clean up the last stuff and carry us over the finish line. And that's how you make a chrome penguin. So here we start adding natural areas of light and shade and warm and cool colors. These open areas benefit in the same way as the forest scene did, adding areas of shade and areas of open lighting. Like I mentioned, the time of day shifting leads to different ambience as the sun moves. And this is the shot that I just liked. Finally, let's see how the new GI system can brighten up your character's day. And also their day as well. Well, I promised you light and sound, but I don't actually know anything about sound. So here's the man who does, Graham Phillipson.
Do you want to make some noise? Sound isn't as fast as light, so it takes me a bit to catch up. How do we paint this world with sounds? It's a challenge. It's a challenge of scale, and it's a challenge of quality, and we want a seamless experience. But with Star Audio, we can rapidly implement audio for entity classes, brushes, or audio sweeteners, all of which can be reused and reflected immediately across the game, including all of those emergent locations we talked about earlier. So again, this is Genesis data driving what happens in-game. So to add some realism, sounds respond to how they move, how you move in the world and how they move relative to you. In even simpler terms, so you can hear the pitch and tempo changing as we move relative to the Benny Noodle machine, and this is all fully systemic, no special treatment for this sound. If you were at the Pico perspective there, that's how you'd hear it in-game right now. So Pico's down before he even hears the shot. But don't worry, he's not dead. Now he's dead. Proper placement in. So there's one more example for you, giving you a bit of a sense of threat. Bit of a sense of threat. Finally, the really cool stuff, explosions. So we can put a cinematic element, a shockwave element, and a delayed speed of sound effects. Speed of sound effects. Cinematic effect first when you see it. Shockwave. explosion itself. This is all completely driven by parameters in the game, so we can do this for real.